Let's talk about modifications for pregnant women. They get winded easily, and they have less balance, and they get hot really easily. So if someone's standing up on the front platform doing a platform lunge, knowing that women can get tired faster, hotter faster, and not have balance, what lunge could I do to make them safe? A floor lunge. They can go down to the floor, and this would be the same thing as standing on there, but it's safer because one, they have the handlebar in front of them. They can turn their handlebar out to the side and have support. Another cool thing is, instead of being on their toes, they can go down to their knees, like a well lunge, with the tops of their foot down and the shins down, and they can do this. And then if they wanted to challenge, they would just get up on their toes and do this. So let's say we're doing light squats. That's on one white spring, 2 to modify. You can give them more springs. If you think about 3 white springs for a plank to pike, I can't even control the carriage because look what's happening. There's so many springs and I'm kind of tiny, right?
Right.
But in a squat, it's more stable because it's coming in. So you can technically put 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. And then you can protect the woman who gets tired easily or has no balance to just do a squat. If it's a light squat that you're teaching on 1 to 2 white springs, you can just load it more to help them. But after it passes 3 white springs,
it goes heavy.
It goes to heavy. Because earlier we talked about in heavy exercises, the least you can go down is 4, because once you go to 3, it's basically no longer a heavy exercise. Women cannot crunch. So if you're teaching a crunch like this, then what they can do is they can do a saw, they can do an ab wheel, depending on how far along they are, 2 white springs. Most pregnant women that come to these kind of classes, they just don't like get pregnant and go, I'm gonna try Pilates while I'm pregnant. They usually have already taken it before they got pregnant or during their early pregnancy. So that way at least they know what they're capable of doing. But the rule of thumb is anything standing up, you can go down. Anything that's on 1 white spring, modify by more springs to help support them a little bit more. Let's just say you did a plank to pike and they couldn't do plank to pike. You can just have them to do bird dog.
Bird dog,
right? Because all they're doing is they're just on their hands, up, up, and then instead of doing this, I would have them do this instead of this crunching. It would be beneficial for you to have a list of back up exercises for pregnant women. Bird dog instead of doing crunches, holding a plank. Side plank is really good. And remember that if they need to, just put 1 leg out. In a side plank, do you think that you can add 3 or 4 springs?
Yeah, because you aren't moving.
Because it's not really moving anything, it's just securing it. When all else fails, sit at the back, 1 white spring, serve the platter with the brown cable, do kneeling bicep curl, you can do shoulder press, or you can have a pregnancy routine, and if there's a pregnant woman in class, you just scrap your whole routine that you've taught the rest of the day, and you teach the pregnant one. And the pregnancy routine should and will be as difficult as a regular routine. So rule of thumb, everything modified for them. Everything. And to be conservative, nothing at the back. So let's say you come in, you sit down, I ask you, what trimester are you in, 2nd or 3rd? Go over, okay, so these are the few things that we're going to do today, and I'll go over it, and then I just want to see if you are feeling comfortable to do that. Have her do the few exercises, and if it doesn't feel good for her, then give her the list of other exercises to do, like bird dog or something. Because you're pregnant, I take the conservative route, and I want everything to be modified. So everything should be on 2 white springs. It's hard for people to understand how the 2nd spring helps, because they think holding a 5-pound weight and then I pick up another 5 pound is harder. By actually doing it on 1 first for the pregnant woman, and then say, feel how that feels, how slippery, how the carriage is going to run away from you, and then give them 2, and then say, now how does that feel? It's heavier, but it comes in faster. And then you just tell her, so I would prefer you, or I recommend pregnant women to be on modified springs, but if you think you can do it on 1. You know, because we can't feel what they feel. No crunching, no twisting. The only twisting exercise that they can do, in my opinion, is a torso twist. So it's just doing this. Caution to not over twist. Only twist enough to where you feel comfortable. Oblique sweep would be too hard for somebody.